Thank you. And I'm going to call you Richard.
Please.
No, Mr. Gere.
My wife comes from the north of Spain, from Galicia, so I'm calling her Alicia. Okay.
Fantastic.
All right, so you asked me a question. I said, first of all, I'm 76 years old.
Wow.
I don't know how that happened. Because I still feel like I'm 26. But this happens. I remember the Dalai Lama was asked once about time. He said, what do you think about time? And His Holiness said, I like time. He said, why? Because without time, nothing would change. And I think that's something that we all have to learn to embrace, is change. Nothing ever stays the same. Everything is always changing. Our minds are changing. Our brains change. Our bodies change. Our thoughts change. The universe changes. The idea of ourself, the idea of others changes, matures. And I see that in myself over these years, is that these ideas about what we are taught maybe as children is what the world is, what we are, what is our relationship, how do we make a life that's meaningful? Is there meaning? Is this a dark, cold universe? Or is there something more for all of us? And I think that's an ongoing process in all of our hearts and minds, is to keep pushing forward with some sense of courage. We were just talking about courage before we came on stage. But a sense of courage to even give up the idea of yourself that we all protect so much. The idea of me, which ultimately is a construct. There's no me that can be pinpointed. There's a me now, but always changing. Just an idea. And as I get older, I feel that more deeply inside of myself. That maturing sense that I don't really exist the way I appear to exist to myself or others. And the same thing out there. You know, there's, I don't know how many people here, 500 people, something like that. There's 500 stories here. There's 500 me's. But that's only from a certain point of view. From an ultimate point of view, from a physics point of view, or a quantum point of view, from a Buddhist point of view, there is no separation. There's no ultimate separation. There's the illusion of that. But if we can penetrate that illusion and feel like we're coexisting stories that are swirling around each other, and can really feel that deep in our hearts, then radically everything changes. There's no way we can be cruel to each other. There's no way we can be crude. There's no way we can be violent with each other. But there's a genuine sense of compassion and commitment that emerges from challenging the basic idea that I exist the way I appear to exist. And start to give in to the idea that we're really all of us in this together. And together we can make a garden of our lives, make a garden of the universe. Not that hard. It's actually much harder to embrace and keep feeding this idea that we're separate. That takes a lot of energy. Much easier to just go, oh, wow, we're really here together. Completely interconnected. So, you know, my voyage into philosophical thought, ultimately Buddhism, and my incredible luck and gratitude I have for being a student of the Dalai Lama and other great teachers has made these words that I'm saying a little closer to something I really feel inside of my heart.
It's beautiful because you really, your journey is so amazing.
I don't even know how to describe it because it's not really a documentary. It's sort of a documentary because it...
Conversation.
It's partly a conversation, it's partly a teaching, it's partly a history lesson, it's partly a celebration of 90 years of an extraordinary man's life. But it's also an exploration of the life that we live. And in some ways dissecting this moment on this planet, this moment of chaos and confusion and post-traumatic stress order that we are all feeling in right now. Trying to make sense of all of this chaos. So ultimately, you're able to spend an hour and a half with the Dalai Lama. And I don't want to program it too much, what you're going to see, but please come and see this movie.
You know, the thing is that the world, you were talking about the current crisis that we are going in the world. And part of the crisis,
We can be very pessimistic and see this is the end of the world, or we can see it as a genuine challenge. And I choose to see this moment as one of challenge, where the bad guys on the planet are challenging us to stand up for who we really are and the world we really want to live in for ourselves, our kids, our grandchildren. Look, as an American, I'm deeply ashamed of this president we have. That's not, I don't want that to be an applause line, because it's something, it's a challenge to all of us. And we were talking before, your president is pretty amazing how she's able to deal with this guy. So I applaud her. But clearly we have someone here, and it's not just Trump, we have Orban, we have Putin, we have Netanyahu, we have bad players on the planet right now with enormous power. And from our point of view, I would say probably most of us in this room, they are on the wrong side of history. They're on the wrong side of the present. They're on the wrong side of the future. But it's a challenge to all of us to stand up and to be counted, to be responsible. In this movie that we made with His Holiness, of course he's talking about spiritual values and basic kindness and love and compassion through a filter of wisdom and skill. But it's one of responsibility and courage to stand up. And not out of anger and hatred, but out of wisdom and a passion towards the garden that we all could be living in. You don't get the garden unless you plant the seeds and you water it and you take care of it. That's our responsibility. We have bad leaders. Let's make sure we don't do that again. We don't allow the bad guys to be our representatives in the world. We want leaders who actually share the same vision of possibility and inclusion. No matter what your color is, your language is, your sexual preference, whatever it may be. Any government that's not inclusive is not the right government. Any leader who's not inclusive is not the right leader. That's an applause line. I'd like to hear that. The community. You can take one piece of that puzzle of a social network of how we live together and isolate that and work on it and think you're really going to change the whole environment. I think we have to be humble enough to realize how big it really is and how holistically we have to see things. And there's no one person, one organization, one government that can do that. You know, there's certain things that I can do well, you know, and I try to use that thing, whatever it is my thing is, but I can't do anything. I've got Sergio Graf. Where's Sergio? So right here. So Sergio knows everything about Jalisco. He's a great environmentalist. He's the scientist, you know, he's the man who knows all this stuff. I can't do my work without him. He can't do his work without someone like me and Alicia. This is how we work together. Now, in terms of working in the communities, the humility of listening is super important.
Wow.
Just listening. In most of these communities I've found, and I've worked around the world on different things, whether it's in the Mediterranean, pulling people out of the water, simple refugees, escaping, migrants, really refugees. And in India, certainly with refugee communities, HIV communities, people have had do-gooders come into their communities without patience, thinking